What is innovation? The current cutting-edge technology? Resolutions to the pioneering crisis? Of course, these are all innovation. But the definition of this mere word extends far beyond things like autonomous vehicles, artificial intelligence, or gene editing. Innovation is reimagining and reinterpreting common words and concepts to create novel solutions and perspectives. It's viewing something familiar, something like a language framework, through a fresh lens. It's seeing the extraordinary within the ordinary. Now, before I get started with my story, can I ask you all a question? Can anyone give me a synonym for the word bravery? Mr. Dumble? You know, just for fun. Fearless, okay. But is bravery really the absence of fear? Or is it not? I'll elucidate this concept using my own story. It was 3 years ago, and the hustle of crowds entering a room was pushing my anxiety to a major point of an emotional breakdown. I was grabbing on the edge of my hoodie. I didn't even know it was supposed to be a formal occasion, and everyone else besides me seems to be wearing only the most delicate garments ever. I was so humiliated. It seemed like that I lacked basic propriety and preparedness for the speech I will give within the next 40 minutes. Wait, am I doing the accent of that French author correctly? Wait, what is the second element required to construct suspense? Innumerable worries were drowning me. A couple of hundred people were sitting down there, anticipating an upcoming speech, and I would walk up there, stammer through the whole thing, leaving the audience confused, annoyed, and perhaps trying hard to hold back their ridicules. 40 minutes flew past. I rigidly shuffled onto the stage. My eyes were unable to focus on anything apart from the supervisory desk behind. And it was the only thing that was able to provide me with some consolation. But honestly, that didn't really help. My hands were still shaking incessantly. After what felt like eternity, the speech was finally over. I ran down the stage. It was mid-November, yet my clothes were all wet. I wanted to cry so badly. But a few seconds later, I heard applause from the audience, and it somehow felt pretty enjoyable, regardless of whether they are just being conventionally polite or that they really found my speech laudable. And a few minutes later, my instructor came up to me and said, "Congratulations, you made it through." And that was pretty brave. It wasn't a kind of enthusiastic ego boost, but a simple statement of what actually happened. I did sense bravery. I was scared. I was so scared. I was terrified. But I made it through, and I persisted. And that was bravery. Who said anything about not having fear? Right? And a few hours later, I got back home, and again I wanted to cry. But this time, not with those feeble tears, but with invincible strength, to cry out that I'm brave. So, the moral of the story, bravery is not the absence of fear, but the strength to act in spite of it. A brave person acknowledges their fear, but refuses to let it dictate their actions. Whether it's standing up for someone else, or trying something new, or speaking out your own demands, bravery will always shine through your fears. And to be honest, it's just something deeply normal and human. Just face it with no shame. It's just your most blatant self. So please, next time, when you think of quitting, start reminiscing the most horrifying thing that ever happened to you. And let that previous self say to you that, I persisted, and you would too. Thank you.